right, it's a very beautiful morning to you, listener out there. It's 32 FM 94.9, the station where joy resides. It's the Breaker Dawn newspaper review on this dial. I am Chike Obogo, and I have with me this morning Olutayo Ogunade.
Very well. Good morning to you, dear listener. I am Olutayo Ogunade, and it's good to be here. We go straight to the papers.
All right, I'll be taking the Punch newspaper and the Nation newspaper this morning. And let me just start off with the Punch newspaper this morning with a headline, bold headline, front page says, 10 die as 21-story building collapses in Lagos. Designer warned of tragedy. About 40 workers were on site when the building came down, says eyewitness. Developer, engineers, clients, others trapped. Sanwo-Olu orders investigation. We also have some of these headlines here. Reps probe collapse of $1.89 billion Delta Steel community fumes. Okay, Odili, outrage grows, raid team leader, whistleblower face police panel. International airfares rise as Naira crashes on IATA platform. Consumers demand privatization review as power generation drops to 3,844 megawatts. We also have here Amotekun begins interstate patrols to tackle kidnapping others. Monarch denies villagers killed customs men. Residents flee Ogun community. Fuel queues resurface in Nasarawa, Abuja, Niger. Marketers hike strike. Okay, we also have this one here. Olukoya suit. Fined blogger to publish guilt judgment. Faces jail threat. Ogun issues 60-day ultimatum to unvaccinated residents. Plans office transport ban. Let me take that story again. Ogun issues 60-day ultimatum to unvaccinated residents. Plans office transport ban. Okay, EFCC picks up Obi Kubana, alleges money laundering, tax fraud. These are some of the headlines from the Punch newspaper. Before I leave there, last story here. Anambra decides 2021 Saturday poll must hold. Our representatives ready to assist. This is coming from Masob. IPOB defends ESN over Anambra killings, tackles Uzodinma.
Right from Daily Trust newspaper, Ikoyi collapsed building. We approved 15 floors, but owner built 21 floors. Agency. Gumi insists on amnesty for bandits. Condemns move to label them terrorists. Obi Kubana in EFCC custody. Case of illegal withdrawal from deceased bank account for the 9th of December. That's something you also find from Daily Trust. Mufti meant to deliver lecture at Sultan of Sokoto's 15th anniversary on throne. Many killed as 21-story building collapses in Lagos. Impeached speaker declared wanted as Plateau Assembly crisis festers. Some more from Daily Trust newspaper. We have this one here. Dangote Cement's revenue crosses 1 trillion naira in 9 months. How governors shared PDP's NWC positions. Nigeria's worst military government better than APC government. Autumn domestic airfares skyrocket despite new airlines entry. Gambari lays foundation for presidential clinic. Buhari, Africa's ambition to restore 100 million hectares of degraded landscape achievable. Anambra Indigbo will be worst losers if election doesn't hold. Umuayao.
All right, from the Nation newspaper this morning. Buhari to youths, don't give up, you're close to success. Buhari to youths, don't give up, you're close to success. Fracas at House of Assembly over Speaker's removal. Minister, government owes 774,000 job beneficiaries 7.8 billion naira. Government owes 774,000 job beneficiaries 7.8 billion naira. Okay, we still have some stories here. Let me see this. Alleged forgery, Lebanese firm, 4 others for arraignment. Governors can't control PDP, says Chidoka. Army operations not to occupy Southeast. We also have the NBA to tackle sexual harassment with new policy. Okay, cholera deadlier than COVID-19, NCDC warns. We also have this IG orders probe of siege on Odili's Abuja home as locally made bombs recovered from suspected ESN members. Locally made bombs recovered from suspected ESN members. Elumelu, we've trained 1.5 million young Africans. That's coming from Tony Elumelu. Okay, we also have this one here from the Nation newspaper, which says happier days are beckoning from the PDP as Arakpaja takes over as the South Deputy Chairman.
Let's see some more from the papers here. We have the Guardian newspaper. 150 days after ban, Nigerians await truce between federal government, Twitter. Intrigues as PDP governors take firm charge of party. Wike gives federal government 48 hours to expose invaders of Justice Odili's house. Will host best ever national sports festival in 2022, says Okowa. Some more from the Guardian. 3 die. 3 rescued, others trapped as 21-story building collapses in Lagos. Quit complaining, move on. Oshibajo charges youth. Court sanctions defense team in alleged 761.6 million naira subsidy fraud trial. Banks risk prosecution over lending to states. Terrorists kill 1, kidnap 100 Baptist church worshippers in Kaduna. Ogun begins COVID-19 mass vaccination campaign. From the sports side, Buhari assures on implementation of National Youth Conference outcomes. Still from the sports side of the Guardian, Raw recalls Igalo names Ndidi, 22 orders for Liberia, Cape Verde ties. Eagles camp opens in Morocco the 8th of November. Kenya, let's see. Abeokuta Golf Club ready for Air First Golf Championship. That'll be all from here. Let's go. Let's see another paper.
All right, more from the Punch newspaper this morning. Okay, World Cup qualifier. Raw drops Awoni, invites Igalo after 2-year absence. Also have this one here. 2019, Benue Varsity graduates protest non-mobilization for NYSC. 2019, Benue Varsity graduates protests non-mobilization for NYSC. Police burst fake drinks manufacturing syndicate in Rivers State. Police burst fake drinks manufacturing syndicate in Rivers State. Privatization. Consumers demand review as power generation drops to 3844 megawatts. Okay. Lack of forensic experts. Licenses stall 140 EFCC cases. Lack of forensic experts. Licenses stall 140 EFCC cases. NSAS panel orders victims burial 19 months after killing. NSAS panel orders victims burial 19 months after killing. Okay, there's this article there, preparing for Anambra governorship polls, which is coming up on Saturday. Oshibajo monarchs to inaugurate Yoruba World Center. Oshibajo monarchs to inaugurate Yoruba World Center. Okay, subsidy fraud. Bowers cross-examination stalled. Court fines defense. Subsidy fraud. Bowers cross-examination stalled. As court fines defense. Bielsa marks Thanksgiving Day today. Declares public holiday. Okay. Odili's residents. Outrage grows. Raid team leader. Whistleblower face police panel. Okay. Odili's residents. Outrage grows. Raid team leader, whistleblower face police panel. Wike in Supreme Court witnesses 17 oil wells dispute suit against Imo. Wike in Supreme Court witnesses 17 oil wells disputes suit against Imo State. Okay, we have this one lastly. AFDB blacklists 40 Nigerian firms, individuals in 4 years. AFDB blacklists 40 Nigerian firms, individuals in 4 years.
All right, that'll be all from there from Chike. We'll go on a commercial break now. When we return, it will be time for some analysis.
see Jasper, see Romanus, now so they enter night bus. Go Ghana, they won't go your love. Guy, I need a shot like that now. If you want drop advert, drop them easy now. Just tell them to watch the Showmax original Ghana Jollof featuring Akanani, Funny Boom, Basket Mabuchi, Jocelyn Dumas. Tell them to watch them every week on Showmax. Subscribe from 1,200 naira. I tell them to sign up to showmax.com. I beg you, you go one side. I go shout. It's so sweet. Ghana Jollof Mogo na sweetie show.
An exciting day at school begins with breakfast plus Peak 456 growing up milk fortified with DHA to support brain development.
Grow up strong and smart with Peak 456 growing up milk every day.
Precious Cornerstone University, PCU, a faith-based institution located in the heart of the city of Ibadan, provides a student-friendly and enabling environment to fulfill your dreams. Precious Cornerstone University is a true pan-Nigerian university, currently with students from more than 22 states of the Federation. PCU is currently calling for admissions of new intakes, and with a minimum score of 120 in JAMB UTME with 5 O-level credits in English and mathematics alongside 3 other relevant subjects, you can enroll today in accounting, business administration, banking and finance, economics, computer science, microbiology, and more new courses are being approved. Mass communication, international relations, cyber security, software engineering, and procurement. Direct entry admission for all ND and HND holders is also ongoing, and students with lower mark than 120 can also register for JUPEB. Enroll online today at www.pcu.edu.ng and follow the procedure. Or you can visit the Precious Cornerstone University Campus 1 at Olaogun Odife Road, Ibadan, or call now 080 600 51554 or 08131 811946.
Babe, that girl dey use something. Which kind something be that? Check am now. See how she dey always dey smile.
I know wetin she dey use, and she dey use am 2 times a day.
Peruse me her secrets.
ABZ na the secret. Close up get antibacterial zinc. ABZ wey go give you 3 times more protection, 3 times more freshness pass your normal toothpaste.
Chai! Everybody must hear am.
Yes o. New Close Up with antibacterial zinc. Triple the protection, triple the freshness.
Welcome back. It's 32 FM 94.9 Breakadon Newspaper Review. I am Olutayo Ogunade. Chike is here.
And I am Chike Ubogu.
And we have Austin Jumo with us on the program. Good morning to you, Austin Jumo.
Good morning, Tayo. And Chike, good morning.
Good morning, Austin.
Thank you.
All right, let's look at this headline, major headline from the Punch newspaper. Front page headline says 10 die as 21-story building collapses in Lagos. Designer warned of tragedy. And it says no fewer than 10 persons were feared dead on Monday when a 21-story building collapsed on Girard Road in the Ikoyi area of Lagos State. As of the time of filing the report, many people were still trapped in the rubble, including the managing director of Fourscore Heights Limited, Femi Oshibona, who owned the building, and some of his clients and engineers. Headline: 10 die as 21-story building collapses in Lagos. Designer warned of tragedy. Austin, designer warning of tragedy. I saw a letter yesterday on social media where it was written last year, where the designer warned of an imminent disaster. However, from the report here, the owner said no. Instead of 15, let's make it 21, and those ones resigned.
And I said we should be careful, Austin. Just before you react, I would have loved to see or cite an acknowledged copy of the letter. It is possible to draft a letter, in one day and put a date.
Reflecting
on
and backdate it for just to make it look as if
precisely.
Yes,
so
the OT was
one argument by the side.
flawed. Yes.
Let's get your reaction to
this. Since that cannot be dependently verified, I think we just have to put that aside. Let's look at the major issue, which has to do with this persistent building collapse in Lagos. The ones we have had before, there have been fatality. What did we do? Most of the time we set up assessment committee to be able to look at the possibility of conducting structural integrity tests on some of these properties, and at the end of it, that is failing. I think the government must look for a way to properly regulate and checkmate developers as far as building collapses in Nigeria. Lagos, a case study, is concerned, because it's becoming too reoccurring in Lagos. Now, approval was sought and given for 15 story. Now it has been moved to 21 floor. What did we do? Does it mean that we waited until the coming down of this structure before we suddenly realized that it's getting to 21? Even in private residences, as individual, if you are constructing, there are officials of the town planning officials of the town planning coming from time to time to inspect what we are doing at that particular premises. At times they will have to mark for demolition until you show cause. At the point of showing cause, it shows that you have not actually deviated from the original plan, purpose and intention of that particular structure. So that is what it means. It means that a lot of people are also culpable in terms of regulatory measure as far as this collapse is concerned. Now let's look at the content, how applicable it is. A particular company had to come out that, we actually complain that we can no longer vouch for the integrity of this structure. At some point, maybe the third, the fourth level, and they had to pull out of it. I think Lagos State government must look at this very critically. It was also unfortunate that the developer was on ground with certain people inspecting the structure that is still under construction. Like what we are made to understand, I think we were told that it is about 80% completed, that by next year that project is supposed to be fully delivered. And look at what just happened yesterday. Government had to do more. The idea of people just coming out in the name of developer, putting up structures, and at the end of the day to serve as death trap for the people, I think it is no longer acceptable. Sometimes ago, when this was rampant, the Lagos State government came up with measure. What happened to that measure? How come we fail in our regulatory procedure to now allow an approval that was given for a so number of floor, now estimated and jacked up to another floor without supervision, without regulation? I think this is becoming one too many. So as government and as people, we have to do something as urgently as possible. It was an unfortunate death, and our heart goes to the family of people who may have lost their loved ones in that particular process. We were also told that workers from Abuja, from some places, were there, and some people too also survived that. So let us put measure in place to forestall a repeat of this in Lagos, across the country, and everywhere this could be happening. And let us also abide as developers by concrete standards. There are quantity standards in terms of the normal measure, the aggregate measure that is being used. Of course, we know that building material are on the high side, especially cement at this particular point in time. But developer cut corner somewhere in Ibadan, I think about 2 weeks.
When I saw the collapse yesterday, I was, in my layman, just understanding, I was expecting to see at least, rods, a sizable number of rod. What do you call the iron, the metal?
Yes.
All I saw was just pile of blocks
and what have
this does not even look like something that can withstand
the test of time. So we have to look at it properly. I was about to say the other time, I think about 2-story building also collapsed somewhere in Ibadan 2 weeks ago. It almost killed people, but thank God that didn't happen. So we have to work on it. The aggregate must be there. When we map out quantity of material that should be used, we should ensure that these are used, because let's imagine that this project has been delivered and fully occupied. The number of fatality that we can't be talking about by now. So whatever we have to do, let government do its job and let these people be checkmated. When you are constructing for public utilization, it's not just about profit making for that matter. It's also about the life of the people, the integrity of the structure, and the businesses around that particular premises. So it was an unfortunate incident. Let government see whatever they can do to checkmate these people. Once there's regulation, when it comes to structure, you can't cut corner. If you cut corner, anything can happen.
Apart from the condemnation by members of the public and the outrage by members of the public, have we seen any of these building contractors properly sanctioned. You remember the case of the Lekki,
Yes.
collapse the other time too. Have we seen anybody being properly punished for these acts?
That's the major problem that we have. The other time I told you, the Lagos State government came up with an agency that will particularly look at the integrity structure in terms of the quality of structure being put in place. But how far have that committee been able to work? If there are no sanctions, there won't be deterrent. And if this does not take place, it shows that incidences like this will continue to reoccur. I know a lot of us will talk about it now. The Lagos State Police Commissioner was on ground yesterday. The Lagos State Deputy Governor was also on ground. They did a very fantastic job. But must we continue to wait until structures are brought down and people lose their life in the process before we now do what they call fire brigade approach? Let's put far-reaching measure in place, a measure that it will be very difficult to breach, and whosoever that breaches those measures will have to be sanctioned appropriately. If this is not done, I fear we might still continue to have this even in the days ahead. So something urgently must be done. You can't just come and put structures in place, and let regulators also ensure that at the end of the day, what you got approval for, that is in line with the structure that is being put in place. At no point are you supposed to change the structure or to accommodate for other exigencies that were not initially captured in the project. So these are major issues that we have. You see people getting approval for a 3-bedroom bungalow, for example. They will extend it to a 4-bedroom bungalow. Some will have to build something like complex, attaches shop and what have you. They are changing the structure because that is not the original intention in which approval was given. Right. That is why ministry must not continue to stay in office. When approval is given, go to the field to monitor implementation and what people are doing, because it's very easy in Nigeria to get approval for something and implement something else.
All right, the governorship candidate of the All Progressives Grand Alliance, APGA, in Anambra State, Charles Soludo, has said that the insecurity in the southeast state is politically motivated. The agitation by the pro-Biafra group IPOB has led to several killings and destruction in Anambra and other states in the southeast. We have the headline here: Anambra debates insecurity in Anambra politically motivated. Soludo.
Yes, in Anambra and by extension, other states in the southeast. If you look at insecurity in Nigeria, when we say this, some people find it very offensive. There is always official connivance. You have a situation where people in government will connive with non-state actors to perpetrate this heinous crime against the people, because they feel that when they destabilize the system, that will translate to a kind of political advantage for them. So that is also part of what is happening in the eastern part of the country, because if not, we have elected office holders in that area. Why have they not been able to bring this to a control? Look at governors in that area, for example. They have totally lost control to the extent that members of the public around that area now believe, members of IPOB now believe what IPOB says when it comes to the orders to obey or not, which shows that governors, for example, have lost their voice as far as security in the southeast is concerned. The debate was fantastic yesterday. Of course, they also at some point deviated from the subject matter by casting aspersion on their
persons.
Yes, on their persons, especially between the candidate of the APC and that of the APGA. You know, the battle is tough between the two candidates. APGA has been in charge of that state for some time. The power of incumbency is still there. And the candidate of APC, politically to a large extent, have been around for some time in terms of whether he has contested the election or what have you in that particular state. The truth of the matter is that we need to allow that election to hold. Let's allow that election to hold so that we can just move forward. So, like he said, let politicians, those that are involved, let them begin to play the game according to the rule. At the end of the day, the election will come and go, and people of Anambra will still remain the same. We need the united front in that particular election. We also need that election to be credible. According to what we have learned, INEC said they are prepared adequately, but like we have always said too, INEC alone cannot guarantee free, fair, and credible election. There are critical stakeholders in election. We have the INEC, who is the umpire. We have security operative, who will ensure that the areas are safe for election to be conducted. Then we have the character of the politicians, characters of people that are involved. It is because of the aberrant behavior of politicians that has brought us to the level where we are today. You know that you are extremely unpopular and you want to win election at all costs. At the end of the day, it will bring brigandage, it will bring thuggery and what have you. So let's see how it goes in the Anambra election.
Okay, still talking about the Anambra state elections, you find out that the fear has been instilled in the minds of electorates, especially from the IPOB. And then you want to ask, come Saturday, will the electorates come out en masse to cast their votes? What do we expect? What should we expect on Saturday?
Well, we will expect low turnout. For example, even states that are not even militarized and terrorized, such as this Anambra, especially for staggered election or the one that we call isolated or off-season election, there have always been low voter turnout. You know, it's generally bad, especially in Nigeria, and general election is not even an exception. This current president was elected by about 30 million or thereabout voted in the presidential election, wherein we have over 80 million registered voters. So it is quite bad, our attitude to election. Of course, that is largely also due to the fact that people believe that whether we go out and vote, a winner will definitely emerge. So I think we should continue to change the narrative. So for the Anambra election, we expect low voter turnout because over militarization itself can also scare people to come out, because the security guys are doing a kind of show of force to be able to say that, oh, we are on ground, nobody can disrupt that election. Whether we deploy all the security operative in Nigeria to Anambra for the election, there are so many people that will not come out. So many people will obey IPOB, because we have had a situation where these people will give order in the past and the security operative will say they are on top of the situation, and at the end of the day, when you go out, you risk your life. So Anambra election is not going to be an exception. So what I'm saying in essence is that apart from the insecurity and the IPOB issue for this Anambra election, there have always been low voter turnout in Nigeria, especially for off-season election, and general election too have not also been like an exception. So we are not expecting any magic. We are not expecting anything less. I won't be surprised if less than 300,000 decide who becomes the next governor. Yes, the next governor of Anambra State. We have seen that happen. I think which state, I can't recall now. They have about 1.6 million voters, and less than 600 decided who becomes the governor. That have always been the case in Lagos, for example, if you recall. So then anybody that has always won Lagos governorship election, especially from 2011, they've not been able to score up to 1 million votes, and that has always been the case. So we need to improve our electoral process so as to be able to vouch for its credibility. If we also put that in place, people can have confidence in the system and say, oh, when I vote, I'm sure that my vote surely will count.
From Anambra, let's come to your state. Attempts to hijack Oyo APC will not stand. Sunday Dare. This is from inside Oyo. Oyo APC chairman-elect Omodeo calls for member support on reconciliation. And APC national leadership will resolve crises in Oyo. Adeolu Akande.
Yes, that's the major problem that we have with our politicians, and we just talked about that shortly. We have a situation where politicians that are not popular want to force themselves on the people. They want to turn their own mandate to the mandate of the people, and that is what you have. They've given the PDP-led administration quick notice in Oyo State. They feel that the governor is not doing what is right, and they are staging a comeback. And the way they are doing so far, not being able to manage properly their internal crisis, they don't look like a party that want to take over come 2023. Even
now that she has become a force at the national level of his party, the PDP.
Yes, but Tayo, you also know that every politics is local. Politics is local. That's the truth of the matter. Irrespective of what happened, there are still going to be a lot of dynamics between now and 2023 that will change. But that does not take away the fact that, of course, for the just concluded PDP convention, Seyi Makinde has a very good outing.
So who is trying to hijack your APC?
Of course, it's obvious. I don't think there's any need to mention name. A chairman was imposed on the people. Somebody like Dare and some other people within the party have always talked about the possibility of a particular individual who cross-carpeted to the party sometimes ago, trying to hijack the party since the demand.
Austin, let's give the picture. Let's just look at the picture. The chairman of the APC Advisory Council is the former governor Otumba Lawa Kala. And we also have, he came in from the PDP,
yes.
From the PDP to the ADP, from the ADP to the APC. Yes. And then you now have the likes of Senator Teslim Folari, who also moved from the PDP to the APC. That was in 2016. Yes. And now he's a 7th senator under the APC. According to what happened on Saturday, both of them, with the chairman of the former chairman of the APC in Oyo State, Chief Akinke, yes. and the likes, had a delegate list. However, the other group, with the likes of Chief Adebayo Adelabu, Sunday Dare, Chief Akonde, Adeolu Akonde, the House of Rep member Shadik Bey, and many of them like that, said they are the core APCs. They are the ones who have been with the party all the while. And then they were not consulted to get this delegate list. And how can these two people come and hijack the party, from them? And they had their own in a hotel here in Ibadan, Premier Hotel. They went to Premier Hotel. They didn't have a congress there. They stayed away from the congress ground at Liberty Stadium. And then the whole thing started. At some point in the morning, we felt there was not going to be any congress in the morning. Until the resident electoral commissioner, the REC in Oyo State, by Samuti Agboki, moved to Liberty Stadium, and then it started. At the end of the day, Isaac Omodewu was declared the winner. But the Sunday Dare led group are now saying, no, we are not going to accept this result. And so that is what is happening.
Yes, in their best interest, I think they should come together before it becomes too late. 2023 is not so far away, especially for politicians. It's just like 24 hours. Let them come together. This idea of people trying to hijack the structure, hijacking the party, let the most popular candidate emerge. Of course, there were complaints even before the Congress have been shifted times without number before.
Based on irregularity.
Yes, based on irregularity, doctoring of delegate lists and what have you. Yes. Let them come together. That is what we can say. That is in their best interest anyway, and it is left for them. That would be like an advantage if they are unable to do so for this current ruling party in Oyo State. So what the major complaint is that a city senator want to position himself to be the governorship candidate of the APC. Despite the only issue? Unpopularity.
Is that the only issue? I feel the basic issue here is that the other side of the APC, the aggrieved side of the APC, feel the likes of Teslim Folari and Otumba Lawa Kala are not trusted.
That's the issue. See, I said a city senator is being alleged that he wants to position himself as a governorship candidate. That's
Teslim, right?
Of the as a governorship candidate.
That's Teslim Folari also.
Yes.
Tayo, you said this, Teslim Folari. Okay. As a governorship candidate of the APC come 2023. And they feel that apart from the fact that these guys are just coming, they are not stable, they can also go at any point in time, that this guy is not so popular. That is their grievance. Whichever the case, let them be able to come together. Some people that went against Arakwaja some time ago also talked about this issue, that he was one time in PDP, he left, he went to Ajimobi again, he came back and he now wants to. So a lot of people, I'm just citing that as an example, a lot of people believe that those who are always moving towards political party, especially any government in power kind of politician, they can't be easily trusted. That is the argument of the people. But what I can say is that let them come together, because before now, the National IPC released a guideline that in the case where they don't have a sitting governor, the highest political office holder becomes the leader of the party. So what happens to that? Who is the leader of the party or supposed leader of the party in Oyo State? So let them come together as a party. if they are serious as an opposition political party.
All right, we still have some headlines here. Buhari to youths, don't give up. You're close to success. And some other news stories here. But we'll go on a short break now. When we return, we'll look at this and we also open the phone lines.
Me and you, let's get to Ghana. Grind jollof. This is Ghana. You've come here to seek for greener pastures, making your worthwhile. Your uncle is not supposed to be touching you like that.
I have a lot of uncles. My father has a lot of brothers, and my father's brothers have cousins.
Unwrap all the baggage in the new Showmax original comedy series, starring Basketmouth, Akanani, Jocelyn Dumas, and more. Watch Ghana Jollof weekly only on Showmax. Subscribe from 1,200 Naira monthly. Sign up now at showmax.com.
Hansbro makes me happy. Take selfie chat with your friends. Do the legwork, play your games. Hansbro gon' make you happy. Oh, yeah, now make me happy. Narrow's Day, milky treat today. Hansbro makes me happy. Oats and milk, milk that all the way. Hansbro makes me happy. Oats and coconut is every day. Hansbro makes me happy.
Turn up happy moments with Hansbro.
Hansbro makes me happy.
ká tó bá ní ìrìn àjò ó yẹ ká mọrúfẹ́ ẹni tá a fẹ́ bá ní ìrìn àjò torí ká má bàa sọnù ká tó sọnù ìdí sì nìyí tí gbajúgbajà iléeṣẹ́ atọ́nisọ́nà tó mójúlẹ́jà bí agbanisíṣẹ́ ṣe lè pàdé ẹni tí ń wáṣẹ́ pàápàá jùlọ láwọn orílẹ̀-èdè tó wà lókè òkun.
FMH International HR là ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ẹ̀ àwọn ni alábàáṣiṣẹ́pọ̀ pàtàkì pẹ̀lú àjọ oníwádìí ìjìnlẹ̀ àgbáyé tá a mọ̀ sí United Nations Volunteer Research Group.
ní báyìí iléeṣẹ́ FMH International HR ti ṣe ìwádìí tó jinlẹ̀ wọ́n sì ti rí gbogbo ìṣòro lọ́kàn òjọ̀kan èyí tí àwọn ọmọ ilẹ̀ yìí tó fẹ́ lọ ṣiṣẹ́ lókè òkun fojú winá ẹ̀.
ìdí gan sì rèé tí wọ́n fi ń ké sí gbogbo ẹni tí jì sọ́fì àwọn alágbèédá lórí ipa afẹ́ lọ sílùú èbó lọ ṣiṣẹ́ tàbí ìwọ ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ ń gbèrò láti máa gbé tàbí ṣiṣẹ́ lókè òkun lọ́fẹ̀ẹ́.
wọ́n ti ṣetán láti ro ọ lágbára pẹ̀lú information tó nílò láti mú àlàrere rẹ ṣẹ pẹ̀lú ìrọ̀rùn ọ̀fẹ́ ni ìmọ̀ràn àti ètò ìtọ́nisọ́nà yìí o tètè kàn sí FMH International HR báyìí ní 3rd and 9th floors Cocoa House Ìbàdàn.
telephone 081-000-56451 àti 081-155-14779.
ọ̀rẹ́ ọmọbìnrin yẹn ń lo nǹkan kan.
ṣó o tún ti bẹ̀rẹ̀. ABZ làṣírí ibẹ̀ ọṣẹ ìfọyín close up kún fún antibacterial zinc ABZ bẹ́ẹ̀ ló ń fúnni ní ààbò tó péye ìlọ́po mẹ́ta àti pé a tún fún eyín ẹ̀ ní ìtura ìlọ́po mẹ́ta ó yàtọ̀ sọ́ṣẹ ìfọyín ṣá.
gbogbo èèyàn ló máa gbélé yìí o.
láìdé ọṣẹ ìfọyín close up ti tún kún fún antibacterial zinc pẹ̀lú ààbò ìlọ́po mẹ́ta àti ìtura tó péye ìlọ́po mẹ́ta.
All right, welcome back. It's still the Breaker Dawn newspaper review on 32 FM 94.9. We still have Austin Idumo here doing justice to some of these headlines. We have this one from the Nation newspaper. EFCC quizzes Obi Kubana over alleged money laundering. Socialite and businessman Obi Iyebu, aka Obi Kubana, was reportedly interrogated by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission yesterday. His interrogation was said to be over alleged money laundering and tax-related issues. The Anambra Bond Club owner who arrived at the Jabi headquarters of the EFCC in Abuja at about 12 noon was still with the anti-graft interrogators last night. There was no confirmation on the allegations against the socialite, but it was learned he was being quizzed on alleged money laundering and tax evasion. Headline there, EFCC quizzes Obi Kubana over alleged money laundering. Well, they're doing what they know how to do best, right?
Yes.
Quizzing and interrogating.
Yes. We can also give them benefit of the doubt. Let's see whether anything good can come out of the investigation. Provided at the end of the day they are able to show cause. Of course, we can't say this is politically motivated because the nightlife entrepreneur is not a politician, at least to the best of our knowledge for now. You know, after that lavish party, all lies.
His mother's burial.
Yes, all lies. It was on him, and at that time, you know, CBN was trying to bring up, dust some of their extant laws, some of their regulations. You are not supposed to spray, and these guys they also factored that into consideration during the party because they actually didn't spray. They were throwing
They were throwing bundles. They were not spraying money.
Yes, they were throwing bundles. So that is just by the way. Let EFCC do thorough investigation. We have always said that, in my view, nothing has really changed between the Magu-led EFCC and Bawa EFCC. We have said, let your investigation be around 70% completion before you invite a suspect for interrogation. And at the end of the day, when you put that suspect on trial, you are going to be rest assured that you get justice. But this idea of maybe 20% or hearsay information, and at the end of the day you do investigation and the court will throw the case at just like pack of cards, that is no longer acceptable. Do your thorough investigation. Obi Kubana is in Nigeria. It's not above the law. Nobody is above the law. If he's found wanted, especially on tax evasion, put him on trial. That's the truth of the matter. Right. Do not intimidate him. Do not witch hunt him. That is his lifestyle. That is the way he has chosen to live. People feel he is working hard for his money. Let it not because he's a socialite and we now decide to want to bring him down. Show cause genuinely. If he has a case to answer, let him face the music.
Right. The National Commission for Persons with Disability says it is yet to recruit staff despite the allocation of 750 million naira for salaries and wages in the 2021 budget because it has not got the approval of the Federal Civil Service Commission. The Executive Secretary of the Commission, James Lalu, explained this when he received members of the House of Representatives Committee on Disabilities and Special Needs.
This is November 2nd, and the purported recruitment has not taken place, and money was voted for salary. So what is going to happen to the money? Are we going to return the money back to the treasury as a matter of the law? So I think government officials and agencies must be properly regulated. At what time? At least our budget in Nigeria is no longer interwoven as far as yes is concerned. Maybe from June this year to June next year, it's no longer like that. The National Assembly accepts us to ensure a fiscal year of 365 days from January to December.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
This is Comrade Omoluriji from Agu. Good morning, Austin.
Good morning, Comrade.
My erudite analyst. Now, there was a headline this morning in one of the daily, of which I know you may have noticed also, that will issue 60-day ultimatum to unvaccinated residents. I was shocked with that headline. Why? Simply because Edo State government issued a similar order also. We have some group by a suit to debar the government from implementing the no vaccination, no public outing. NSC cautioned the government that the government should rather use persuasion and confusion instead of the use of force. WHO, World Health Organization, does not support compulsory COVID-19 vaccination. And you agree with me that even there is a strong resistance in the globe against the vaccination. I don't know why our governor, who should be an embodiment, someone that will uphold the law and the fundamental rights of the people. Because if you look at it by debarring people, you are violating Section 41 of freedom of movement of people. And you are violating Section 34 of right to dignity.
Hello? All right, you can call back again 070550949 and 08097,949. Those are the numbers to call to join this conversation. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Can you speak up a little bit?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, this is the point of the first people. Please, what Nigerians can't understand is this. Why is it so difficult for this present administration under the leadership of President Muhammadu Buhari to correct the mistake of the past administration? I don't know why it's so difficult. Nigeria is fed up. Good morning, have a nice day.
All right, thank you for calling.
0705 500949 009 700949 to join the conversation in the studio. Okay, Chike.
All right, Austin, there's this headline. I won't go through the body of the headline. It's about Mary Odili. Her residents' outrage grows. Read team leader, whistleblower face, please panel.
Hello.
Okay. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, my name is Daniel Okereke. I was not surprised when I heard that the home of a Supreme Court judge
was invaded by the police. And also not surprised when the IG2 came out to tell Nigerians that the police command knew nothing about the invasion and that they are going to investigate. This clearly shows that this government has nobody in charge. If this has happened in a Senate crime, everybody involved should have been under key and lock and severely punished for this act of brigandage. It's shameful. Yeah, I think quite a year ago or something like that, the House of Judges was invaded in Rivers State. Nothing happened about it. So I don't whether this is a meritocracy or democracy. I don't know what to say about it. I am Daniel Okereke. Good morning.
Thank you, Daniel Okereke, for your submission. 0705 5,949. Austin, you were reacting to the headline from Chike.
Yes. The police never denied their involvement. They said they would do investigation. The Nigerian Army too did not deny that. It was only the EFCC and the DSS that denied that particular operation. Some people need to be called to order. Don't forget, I think around February last year, in the Bayelsa governorship tussle, Mary Odili was part of the 7-man panel justices of the Supreme Court. Immediately after that judgment, some touts, can you recall? Some touts invaded these same premises, waving placard, protesting. Meanwhile, she only had just one opinion out of 7-member panel. You understand? At that time, nothing was done because that was politically motivated. That is why the security operative had to act the same way. If something concrete was done at that time to checkmate that ugly trend, perhaps this would have happened. So let the authority do the needful. I believe heads should roll. Now that there is a misinformation concerning the court order, then who led this operation? Attorney General of the Federation, whose office obtained that injunction, has come out to say, oh, I am not aware of it. Then who ordered the invasion? Who ordered the invasion? That's the truth of the matter. When stuff like this happen, some people should lose their job.
Austin, you remember the 774,000 jobs?
Yes.
Okay, so we have this headline here. Government owes 774,000 jobs beneficiaries 7.3 billion naira. That's according to the minister. I can see his picture here.
Yes, the funds were allocated and appropriated by the National Assembly. Despite the fact that lawmakers at some point were at loggerhead with Festus Keyamo. If work has been done, then go ahead and pay them. That's the truth of the matter.
Although Festus said bank issues is to blame, then also he said payment will be made before the end of the year.
Bank issue for 3 months. I see some people hiding behind one finger. Bank issue for 3 months.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. This is Shagun from Oyo.
All right, Shagun.
When it is about our health system, we should not put on law, fundamental human rights, rule of law. The time my fundamental human rights have stopped is the time Tayo's fundamental human rights start. We have been fascinated. People are not fascinated. It's risking our own life. Are we not supposed to have a good law guiding our own life? People should forget about this. When we take vaccination for our children, we should do to our children. We don't have only again. We don't have yellow fever again. What cost us from taking COVID-19 vaccination? I've taken, my wife has taken, my children have taken. We should stop all this law. That's why we are not going in Nigeria. We are fundamental human rights, rule of law, all these things. It's giving us problems in this country. Have a nice time.
All right, thank you for calling.
Thank you. And that's why we must sustain.
Yes, it shouldn't be by coercion. There is no law that will compel individuals to vaccinate.
But we should also sustain.
Yes, through persuasion.
Education.
Yes, let's persuade our people. Let's show them. Even if we enforce, can we enforce compulsory vaccination when we don't even have sufficient vaccine? That's the issue. It is good to take it. You can see that organization, private sector are already trying to enforce it. That if you don't have the vaccination card, every 2 weeks, you must give us a negative test result. That is a way of making it compulsory without official pronouncement, because if you make vaccination compulsory, it's against the law.
009-7000-949 0705-5000-949. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Your name, please.
It's a lady from Ibadan here.
All right, so lady.
On the collapse building in Lagos, as much as what Austin has said concerning this building are true, I would like to use this avenue to sensitize our Korea, or what do they call themselves, concerning the standard of building. You talk about the materials they use now. They've mentioned specific recommendation for some things that even the concentration of our cement now, you can never compare with the ones they are using before. So in the situation where you ask them to prepare blocks from a bag of cement, you discover that the concentration of pressure cement is not up to that of the past ones. So they should revisit it if they need to now reduce the number of blocks to be made from one part of cement. And the iron rod itself, you look at the standard of the iron rod before now to the ones they are using now. And most of these builders are still using the recommended standard for building. So I think this body need to revisit it because of the present materials we've got in. Have a nice day.
Thank you. It's always about somebody trying to cut corners, all right?
Yes,
trying to save costs, where you should be generous to meet standard.
Yes.
That is always the case with this. You spoke about Corin and the regulatory agencies. Where were they when this guy was building with substandard material?
They were building with substandard. They had to change the original intention of the structure. Where were the agency in charge of regulation?
Have you forgotten that it was foreigners that came?
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you.
Yeah, I'm going to Yamola from UI.
All right.
I want to comment on one of your early headlines, credited to Governor Otto, that this government is worse than the worst military era in this country. I've always been saying that. Lately now, people are according to what I have known like 5 years ago, because this government, it was after 7 years. Of 7 months after the allegation was not that I know that we had made a lot of mistakes. I want to say it's not even in Nigeria. This government remains the worst anywhere in the rest of the world. How do I say? Which government is he working with? Anybody that is helping people that want to reduce poverty, that want to assist people, this government is doing. Why are they happy that people remain poor for life? They are shooting guys. They are shooting Yahoo guys now. Who calls those Yahoo guys? Those personal guys will be using all this kind of brain to make money. And it's not because of their failure, because they are borrowing their money to buy private jets. Hey, people cannot get jobs. They are very shameless people. That's how the best of today.
All right, thank you for calling 07055500949 08097000949. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Alhaji Asala Kayode Muzadi from Coca-Cola.
All right.
Hello?
Hello, good morning. Go ahead.
Alhaji, go on.
Yeah. On the issue of APC primary, I think I want to disagree with you by aligning with those aggrieved members that let's see, Senator Tazif Falani and former Governor Akala cannot be trusted. Our national democracy, we don't have clear-cut ideology in our political circles and in our political parties. That's why they can easily go from one party to another. So the moment you are a card-carrying member of a political party, you have become a member of that party. If they say that he's not a member of their party, how come he contested on platform of APC and now is a senator representing of APC, representing a constituency in our National Assembly? And they should tailor their grievances and come out with kind of an excuse or reason Why they are not going to agree with that the primary? Not that Akala and Tessie, they are not original member. Who is original member? With the kind of parties we play. So they should go for another reason. So,
all right. Thank you, Alaji. All right. So who is an original member? He asked the question there.
We have to go.
Asune
God bless.
Your final thoughts.
God bless Nigeria. Yes, God bless Nigeria. On Samuel Otom briefly, he said the worst of military government is better than the Buhari regime. Otom cannot also be saying all that he's saying during any military regime. That's the truth. There's freedom of speech in Nigeria today. Of course, if we can see that as the only achievement of a democratic structure. So that's the truth of the matter. God bless Nigeria once again.
All right, it's a very, very wonderful morning and very cold here, but I'm wishing you a very fruitful day ahead. I am Chike Ubogu.
Austin Dumu, thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
My name is Olutayo Ogwade. Thank you, dear listener, and see you tomorrow on the program. Bye for now.